Last month, we got our highest electric bill ever. And that kind of forces you to start thinking, how dependent am I on this grid? And what happens if the power goes out? So today I'm taking this solar generator from AFERY and I'm testing it on everything. The greenhouse, the fridge, the freezer, and more, to find out what it actually can power and for how long. Let's find out. The unit we're testing is the AFERY P280. It stores 2,080 watt hours of power, and it can be expanded up to over 10,000 watt hours with additional batteries. But here's what I want to say right up front, because I know a lot of you are in the same boat I was. Solar can be really overwhelming when you're just starting out. I did a video recently where I wired up our own small solar system with an inverter, a charge controller, and extra solar panels. And the comment section was brutal. People telling me I was going to burn the house down, that I was doing it wrong. And honestly, they weren't entirely wrong to be cautious. There's a real learning curve to all of that. So what I love about an all-in-one unit like this one is that someone else already did all the hard work. The inverter, the charge controller, the battery management, it's all inside this one nice box. All you need to know is how many watts of solar panels it can handle, and then you just plug it in. That's it. No wiring, no components that you have to research, no risk of getting something wrong. And for right around $1,000, that's the generator and a 400 watt solar panel included, you've got a real starter system that can actually do useful things for you around your home. All right, let's see what we're working with. Pretty straightforward. Everything you need is in the box. Now, the first thing I want to do is get this connected to the 400 watt panel outside and see how fast it charges. Alright, I got the panel set up outside facing south, and we have to plug in the solar cable here. The XT60 cable goes into the side of the solar generator unit here. And right away, it's already pulling in watts. Right. The display shows you exactly what's coming in and what your battery level is at all times, which I really appreciate. Alright, look at that. We're getting 328 watts coming in. It's getting full sun right now. It will for the next several hours. It's about 2 o'clock right now. And the battery is at 73%. So we'll see how much we could charge this up to, hopefully as close to full as possible. So these, I have two 200 watt panels connected into my EcoFlow Delta Pro inside our barn. And I'm gonna go check right now, see how much they're pulling. Yeah, that's interesting. It's getting those are 200 watt Renogy panels, and they're getting about 281 watts is coming into this unit. So the 400 watt foldable panel from AFERY is doing much better into their unit. It's been well over an hour since I plugged this in. It was at 73 when I first plugged it in. Looks like we're at 100% already. These panels do an excellent job topping up these power stations, and they do it very quickly. So here's what I want to do today. I've got a few different things around the property I want to test this unit on. We're going to start out in the greenhouse. I want to see if it can run grow lights and heat mats, because those things run constantly when we're starting seeds. And they're a big part of why our electric bill has been climbing recently. Then I'm going to bring it inside and plug in the fridge overnight and see how long it can actually keep it running. Because that's the real emergency scenario. If power goes out and you've got meat in the fridge and freezer, how long would you have before you start losing food? The whole idea here is, what would it actually look like to use something like this as a real backup system? All right, first stop is the greenhouse. I built this greenhouse so we could grow food year-round for our family and for our chickens. But to actually grow in the colder months, you need grow lights and heat mats running constantly, and all of that pulls power. So let's see what this unit can handle out here. All right, so I just moved my tray that I had in the house out in my greenhouse outside here. And these are the heat mats that I'm using. And you see they tell you how much watts they use, 120 volts. They even have some useful information on here that you're supposed to, after the first seeds germinate, you're supposed to remove the heat mat And that would explain why my first round of peppers all died after they sprouted, because I didn't do that, because I didn't read the directions. Should have done that. So I've got 1, 2, 3 of these heat mats. The tomatoes are all sprouted. This is not something that is going to need to be on all the time. Like I just said with those directions, once these seeds start or get started, I can turn off the heat mat. But there's going to be times of the year, particularly in winter, if I'm trying to germinate seeds for my chickens, like say I wanted to grow a bunch of microgreens like sunflower shoots, I might need to use the heat mat during that time of year because it's so cold and they need to warm that soil to get those seeds to actually germinate when it's really cold outside. So there's going to be times of the year where it's going to be very useful to have a solar generator that I could just bring out here whenever I need it to plug things in. There we go. Turn all of them on. Ha ha! Look at that! We have light. Button turns all the lights on. Alright. We now have solar powered lights and heat mats in the greenhouse. I have a few more things to go out here, but these are our Amish paste tomatoes. All of that is taking 100 watts, so it looks like I can get 15 hours of life out of that. So that's good, because that means I can come out tomorrow morning and know that even with the temperatures down below freezing, that I could keep in this unheated greenhouse some heat mats to keep the temperature of the soil much warmer than the actual outside temperature. So this is all I wanted to do. Now I've got the lights on, I've got the heat mats on. I'm going to let this do its thing overnight and come out in the morning. It's around 7 o'clock right now, so I'll check on this tomorrow and see how low we went, and then we'll just have to recharge this guy. Alright, looks like, oh, the lights did make it through the night. We still have about an hour, or we're at 1%. Oh, that's great. This has only got about 6 minutes left until this is gonna die, so. Alright, good, yeah. Made it all through the night. Heat's on. Great, now I know. Well, these need to be shut off anyway. There we go. Everything's turned off. Awesome. I gotta get this. I need to get this plugged in back into the solar panel, so let's do that right now. So for a setup like this, you could realistically run your greenhouse lights and heat mats every night and let the sun keep topping the battery back up during the day. On a good sunny day, it might recharge faster than you're drawing it down. On a cloudy day, you'd want to be more strategic, but as a way to take your greenhouse off the grid, this would actually work. Okay, the greenhouse test is done. Now let's do the one that is actually very important for everyone's home, and that will be the fridge test. All right, I just unplugged the fridge, gonna plug it in here. If I can see the outlet. Okay. Now you can hear it turned back on. It's was drawing 400 watts. Now it's stabilized. Well, look at that. Right now it's saying it'll run for quite a bit of hours. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but if it is, we could run this for several days. Now you can hear the fridge. It is plugged into our battery here. It is saying it'll last about 85 hours. Yeah, I'm not joking. We're running this on a little solar generator. Okay. I've really enjoyed having this fridge. It's pretty efficient and it's perfect for a small space like we have here in our tiny house. So this has been great. It fits right under our countertop. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. Right now it looks like it's only drawing that much wattage. So this might last for quite a while. Okay, now it looks like we're drawing about 50 watts, and it's saying it'll last about 26 hours, which is very similar to the freezer, which is interesting. This might change, but if this is how long we could run our fridge and freezer for about a day on this battery, that tells me that if I got additional batteries of this, we could, in the case of a power outage, I could easily, with maybe 1 or 2 more batteries, I could probably power the fridge for 2 or 3 days. And that's good to know. Checking in on how our fridge has been doing on this fully charged battery. See, it's down to 79%. And it's been about 15 hours that this has been plugged in, and it's pretty quiet right now, so it's not pulling any power right now, so the temperature must be stabilized. It's pretty cold outside, so that might be helping a bit, but this is very encouraging that after 15 hours of being plugged in, we still have 79% of battery life left in this. Holy cow. Alright, it is 6:00 p.m. the following day, and as you can see, we are not even halfway drained this battery. And it's got an estimated 17 hours left. It might be more than that, because as you can see, it's pulling 42, 43 watts right now. And you might be able to hear the fridge running. But it doesn't do that all the time. So it might run for a few minutes, and then it's going to go to an output of 0 when it stabilizes the temperature in there. And yeah, I'm going to just let this plug in and see how low this battery can go, how long it could actually maintain the fridge just on 1 full charge. Because again, I don't have any solar panels plugged into this right now, and if I did, we would likely have this battery replenished likely to 100%. So I could say pretty confidently that just this little, well, it's not really little, but this 2,000 watt hour power station could easily power a fridge for a few days. And if you have enough solar panels connected to it, probably indefinitely, if that was like the only appliance connected to it, maybe you could power a few more things as well. Alright, so we're at 42% battery now. It says we got about 11 hours left. So if that's true, then this will go for over 48 hours running this fridge. So that is good to know, that we could get at least 2 full days, a bit more than 2 full days, out of this solar generator. So that's good to know. Based on how it trended, I'm confident this thing will run our fridge for somewhere between 2.5 to 3 full days on a single charge. That is really impressive. In a real power outage scenario, that buys you a lot of time. Especially if you've also got the solar panel plugged in and topping it back up during the day. You could potentially run your fridge indefinitely, as long as you're getting decent sunlight. Alright, so the fridge has been checked, the greenhouse has been checked. Now let's see what else this thing can handle. Alright, we got this fully charged. I'm here, have it on our chest freezer here. I'm gonna plug this guy into this unit and see how long it works. Ah, okay.
It's charging?
It's not charging. That was like a startup load.
Oh.
Maybe this doesn't take that much power, because it says 99 hours.
That's what I had
and it's
before.
at 100%. We'll keep an eye on this, see how long it runs. This is after about 1 hour. It's not running all the time, and it says we'll get 99 hours of use now. See, it only went down to 99%. I have a feeling this would run for a really long time, just this one appliance, so that's really cool to know that. But it doesn't always run though. It only runs sometimes when it needs to keep the temperature up. So it might potentially be longer than that, but that's kind of good to know that you could at least get a whole day on a full charge. Alright, so this is pretty accurate. When I first plugged this in, it said about 26 hours, and it's been about 4 hours now, and it says we're down to about 22 hours until this battery will run out, powering this chest freezer, which isn't the most efficient chest freezer either, so I'm very impressed. One more cool feature about this unit is that you can stack extra batteries to expand the capacity of this one unit. So this one unit will hold 2080 watt hours of energy storage, but you could purchase additional battery banks that are basically like the same size as this, and you could stack them on top. And I believe there's 4 of them that you could add to this, which would put it over 10,000 watt hours of energy storage. So you could really expand from just this original system if you really wanted to build a really big backup battery system in case of power outages. This is a really great option and way to do it, because you can purchase this with my link down below. These are usually over $1,000, but with my link you could get this for $5.99, all of my viewers. So I'll post the link up here so you could see what the link is. You can go to their site if you want to purchase this, and this would be a great starting point for someone new to solar. This is what I did at our EcoFlow Delta Pro. That one is a much heavier unit than this. This is actually a really great starting point because, especially this size, it's a little less than 50 pounds, so it's still kind of heavy, but it's pretty easy to move around with the handles that come on top here. So it's easy to move it around wherever you need it. And with the addition of their 400 watt folding solar panels, you could easily take this on like a camping trip or something like that and just have a steady supply of power for whatever you need. So this could be very versatile. You could actually move this around to your workshop or wherever you might need it to power some tools or whatever it is. So I really like this so far. So here's where I've landed after spending a few days with this. The thing I keep coming back to is portability. I've got a much bigger battery system, the EcoFlow Delta Pro, but that thing is so heavy I basically never move it. This one I can pick up and take wherever I might need it. The greenhouse one day, the kitchen the next, the barn after that. And that got me thinking bigger. What if instead of trying to wire power into our barn, which would be a whole project that I'm honestly not prepared for, what if I just kept one of these units out there permanently connected to a solar panel, powering what we need? Then I wouldn't need an electrician, and I wouldn't need any crazy wiring to run through the walls. I would just be able to plug in what we need to power and just go on with my life. I'm actually considering picking up a backup battery for this AFERY system so that we could actually power more appliances and have it be our own dedicated backup system. This unit could power the fridge and the freezer, which is what we care about the most. For $1,000 for the generator and panel together, that's a pretty affordable way to start building that kind of resilience. I'll link the AFERY P280 down below if you want to check it out. And if you want to see what we did with our larger solar system on the cabin, that video is right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.